have to solve this question, maximum number of distinct elements after operations. So what is the question? We are given an integer array nums and an integer k. Okay, so it is saying that we can perform a certain operation on each element of the array and at most once. Okay, so what is the operation? Add an integer in the range minus k to k to the element. Okay, return the maximum possible answer of distinct elements in nums after performing the operation. Okay, so our goal is to create maximum number of distinct numbers after performing this operation. Okay, so let's see an example to understand. Okay, so in this example, so in the given array already we have 1 2 3 4 distinct numbers are there. So can we increase the number of distinct numbers after performing our operation? Let's see. So here you can see k is given 2 and it has said that we can add an integer in the range minus k to k. So minus k to k gives us this. Okay, so what is the possible answer here for this case? If I simply write the answer, firstly just wanted to show the what is the requirement here. Firstly understand that. So here what we have done, we have subtracted 2 from the 1, so we got minus 1, subtracted 2 from 0 and subtracted 1 and then as it is. So now if you see, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now we have 6 distinct numbers, right? Okay, so what is the intuition we are getting how to solve this problem? So firstly we can think of it so whichever array we are given, what we will do, we will start creating all possible distinct values from smallest to biggest. Okay, so hope this point is clear. Whatever given array is, firstly we will sort it. Okay, and what we will try to create all possible distinct values which can be created from smallest to biggest. Okay, it's a greedy approach. So, and what are the values which in what range we can get? Let's say this is a sorted array, so this is the smallest value we can get and this is the biggest value we can get, and in between all the numbers, if they can be created after the operation, then we can use that number. So it's simply like we are shifting the numbers as much as left it is possible, so that in future we can create space for the other numbers. Okay, how to avoid overlap with future values? As I said, we are creating the least possible number currently at the particular index, so that to avoid overlap with the future values. Okay, at present index, create smallest possible distinct value. So if we are creating the smallest at a present index, it makes sure that in future there is a least chance right? This is a greedy approach, greedy decision we are taking, that by creating the least possible at current index, in future it will not overlap, right? So that if there will be no overlap, then there will be more number of distinct numbers. Okay, so let's see this example. Let's say this was our array and k is 1. So these are the possible values which we can add. So we start from the first, and let's say suppose we sorted this. Okay, so we start with the smallest one. So firstly we will create the least possible number. So least possible we can get by adding the minus 1. So when we added minus 1 we get 0. Okay, now we go to 1. Now if we again we use minus 1, it will give 0, but 0 is already there, right? 0 is already there, so we cannot use minus 1. So let's use 0. So we added 0 and got 1. Okay, in the next element again this is 1, so we cannot use now 0 also. So we'll use this one and create 2. So up to now all the numbers we created are distinct. Okay, now when we go to 2, if we use minus 1 we will get 1, but 1 is already created, right? If we use 0 we will get 2 plus 0 2, but 2 is already created. Then we go to 1, we use 2 plus 1 3. Okay, so now it is good. So it means we were able to create 4 distinct possible numbers. And if you see, our n is also 4, so the at max we can get 4 only. Okay, so we saw like at every point we have to see like which number already exists, right? So that we can create a number bigger than that. So here it is saying keep track of largest distinct number formed, which we already formed. We will keep track of the biggest one, so that when we create our next it should be bigger than that. Okay, now I think this is clear. Now we'll see the code and it will be more clear. Okay, so first step is to sort only, right? It is clear. Now this is like previous previous largest number formed. Okay, so that the next number which we formed, it should be bigger than that. We will try. Answer will be like how many distinct numbers we have created. Okay, so here we will iterate over nums. Now for a value v, this is the range v minus k, v plus k, right? This is the range which from which we have to choose a number, right? Out of this we cannot choose a number. Okay, now if the largest previous number, right, if our minimum is bigger than that, right? If you see case 1, it is handling case 1. Let's say a and b were two numbers, right? So if our, and we are at b, right, if our minimum b minus k is bigger than the previous maximum number formed, let's say p was this, then we can directly use b minus k, right? B minus k could be used. Okay, b minus k or minimum, which is b minus k here, and we will increase our answer by 1 because this is the number we are going to get first time, right? Because it is greater than p, right? So we will update our p also. Okay, what is the other case? Other case will be like there will be overlaps. So one case overlap is this, one case overlap is this. So in both the cases we see if there is an overlap. So first of all, this case, in this case, if there is overlap, we will say okay, we can select the just next number, like this is p, so we will choose p plus 1, right? And we will increase our answer by 1, right? And if what if they both are equal, then there is no number to choose from which will be greater than the p, right? So in this case, our answer is not going to increase, right? We are not able to form a new distinct number. Okay, so this is our code. Now we see time complexity, it is n log n. Why? Because we have sorted. And space complexity is O of n because we are not using any map or dictionary, something like that. uh, so yeah, it was easy problem. uh, Hope this was clear. If any doubt you can ask. Okay, thanks.